It has been a long time since I got this engine together, and a lot has happened since then, but now it's time to get it back in the car and get it running. This engine was the Ford 5-liter from my dad's 1985 Mustang. Now my dad's been gone for over 25 years, but I've hung onto the engine for all that time because I knew at some point I was going to want to do something with it. I had a 1997 Boxster with a blown engine, so I decided to dismantle it. And after I got it dismantled, I designed and built it a subframe that lengthened the wheelbase over 4.5 inches, lowered the rear suspension, and gave a place for the engine to mount. Then we cut the car up even more, added bracing, and started building a custom aluminum body. Before we can bolt the engine in, we have to have something to bolt it to. The engine mounts are supposed to be right here. But right now, they're here. So we're gonna fix that. Thanks, buddy. Ryan welded these tubes in right before we painted it, but they don't really line up with the holes. And so the bolts won't go in. So I'm gonna cut these tacks loose and hopefully I can just move them to where I need them and bolt everything together. So I do recommend using some kind of tapered tool when you're lining up a hole like that. That will make sure that it stays centered. Pretty sure that the last guy used some bolts to hold it in. And obviously, if the bolt is not the exact same size as the hole, it allows some misalignment. Oh, look at that. All 4 bolts are in and I didn't need a hammer or a pry bar. This is a lot of work. I think I need to get some help. Wow, you have a lot of energy. What kind of fabrication skills do you have? Your metal shaping experience is extensive. How do you feel in front of the camera?
Roger, Roger. Roger, Roger.
Wow, what a coincidence. The last guy's name was Ryan too. Do you say anything? Can you do anything? These are the intake gaskets I'm going to be running on these heads, and you can see how well they fit to the ports because they're made by the same company that makes the heads. But I don't intend to use this manifold in the long term. So I picked up some intake gaskets from a local supply store, and you can see the port size is a little bit different. Now that the intake manifold's on, the next thing I have to address is the valve covers. When I put the valve covers on, you can see there's a gap. These bolts are just finger tight, but the problem is valve covers don't clear the rockers. Everything inside the cylinder head is much bigger than what was there originally, so it stands to reason that the old valve covers can't contain it all. I reached out to Speedmaster and they had exactly what we needed. With the valve cover sitting on the bench, you can see we're gaining just a little bit of clearance between the rockers and the valve covers. It is finally time to get this engine off the stand and into the car. A friend of mine texted me and said he had been a victim of a hit-and-run driver.
Did you get the plate number?
Part of it, IDK something.
Well, sorry, can't help you.
My first thought was, man, if he just would have had a dash cam. A dash cam like the Wolfbox G900 Pro. It has superior night vision, so even if something happens after dark, you're still covered. The front camera has 4K and the rear camera has 2.5K resolution. So it can clearly capture license plates and scene details even in low light, backlight, and other challenging lighting conditions. And it's super clear during the day with the IMX678 sensor with 8 megapixel resolution. With 5.8 gigahertz Wi-Fi, it's 4 times as fast as a 2.4 gigahertz unit. And with standard voice control, you can keep your hands on the steering wheel and the shifter where they belong. The 12-inch touchscreen lets you switch between the front and rear cameras or use split screen so you can see everything at once. And if you got a real big wing like I do, it lets you see behind you again. If you want a Wolfbox G900 Pro, click the link in the description below. The clamshell is great for giving you access to the engine when it's in the car, but it's not so great for access to get the engine into the car. Look at that. Engine's back in Jigsaw. This is awesome. Now I gotta do is hook everything up and I can start it up. All right, so it seems that I should have attached my straps to the back of that head and the front of this head because the bolt is hitting on the body as I try and back it out. But I think if I just give a little tweak right here to this flange, should be able to get my bolt out. Almost. Maybe not. Come on. It's got to be by one thread. The guys at the dealership do these all the time. They know not to do that. Time to put the Kennedy Engineered Products adapter, flywheel, clutch, and starter. They rebalanced our flywheel for the new crankshaft and harmonic balancer combination. Thanks, Kennedy Engineered Products. Transmission doesn't go in any smoother than that. I'm really excited to see this engine back in Jigsaw and to hear it running again, but I'm also super excited to see this exhaust system back on the car and hear it running with the new engine. Each one of these header primaries is marked for its position on the engine, and then there's a very specific order that they have to go in or you're not going to get it all assembled. So I'm going to follow that. These outside tabs are for, I believe, a 351, which this obviously is not, and we're not using them. And the tab gets really, really close to this spark plug. So I'm going to give us some more space. I'm going to take this back off and I'm going to cut these tabs off each of the primary tubes. Oh yeah, look at that. As I'm walking around here, I realize something. It's all tubing. Tubing, tubing, and tubing. Not to mention tubing and more tubing. So I was really annoyed that I was going to have to replace this gear, and then after I figured out everything I had to do it, I was even more annoyed. So the depth of this gear is very important, and the machining process, I guess, is off enough that you have to measure the distance of the gear to the distributor housing, press it together, and then you drill a new hole to make sure that this is set at the exact same distance the old one was. That's a lot more work than I was expecting to replace this gear, but it's done now, and I know I'm not going to tear up my engine, so I guess it was worth it. Oh look, it's a 10mm wrench. I'm almost ready to start this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is remove the spark plugs. And then I'm gonna crank it and see if we get oil pressure. That ought to do it. Well, it probably doesn't want to idle with that cam and that carb, but man, that makes some noise. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. I thought it was loud before. We had some mufflers on that. Woo! The engine is running. Probably a little timing adjustment. This carburetor is never going to be happy trying to feed this engine, but that's okay because we got something much bigger in store for that. Got to build an exhaust system, but before I do any of that, I have to fix the cooling system. My coolant pipes from my electric water pump are running into my new 9-quart oil pan, and that doesn't work, so I can fix that. I'm going to fix that. We got plenty of room to move these around. And then I can run this for more than 30 seconds. Really happy to have Jigsaw back on track and have progress moving in a forward direction. We've got a lot more parts for this and a lot of plans. I got a lot more parts for the Gia as well, so we can get that one running too. I appreciate you hanging around for the long pause while we got all this collected together. It's a big adjustment, obviously, with Ryan not here. I've also been an owner of 3 businesses that have all seen big challenges in equipment, training new personnel. This is a very busy time in my little Porsche world, and so trying to keep up with that. And I'm a new grandpa, and I get to watch her one day a week, and that is huge. I don't want to miss out on that, so I'm trying to fit that into everything else. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video. Thanks for sticking around. Thanks for checking back in. Thanks for watching this video. But I will not just be dropping off of YouTube. Thanks for hanging in the shop with us. No. Thanks for hanging in the shop with me.